Welcome, everybody, all the studs out there, to another episode of the Studs and Scrubs podcast. With me, as always, is my co-host Nickstrom. I'm Stucoffee. Nick, how are you doing today?
Good, good. It's feeling like fall here in central Illinois. A little chilly, a little windy. I know that's probably not the case for you down there in Florida, is it still?
No, it is not. In fact, I was just talking to somebody. I started a new job, but I'm at the same company. And I was just talking to somebody that I've met before, but we haven't talked a lot. And he was saying that they went to a pumpkin patch thing for the fall, do all
Okay.
that, the food vendors, the apple cider, the
Yeah.
hay barrels, and all that. And I was like, I don't even really know that they did it down here, to be honest, because it's like 88 degrees, and
Oh
I'm
man.
like in shorts
Yeah.
and a t-shirt, sweating. We're even just recording this inside with the air conditioner on, and it's like not feeling like fall. But I do have my Halloween ready because
Nice,
we're gonna drop
nice.
this pod hopefully tomorrow. It's 10:30 Michigan on October 21st, so I figured we'll have one
Sweet.
or hopefully two episodes before Halloween, but better throw on something. So
Nice. I like it.
we got a lot. We got a lot going on this episode, right?
We do. Should be good. I actually had a little bit of time to do some research, and it's been my world has been so crazy lately. But I mean, this is kind of my getaway, so I do enjoy still doing the pod and being
Nice.
able to talk hockey and all that stuff. So, and Eli would
Cool.
be joining me, but he's got a decent amount of homework tonight, and we're still in our crazy phase. Rochelle's working at Pumpkin Creek still. Speaking of pumpkin patches in the fall,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she gets off work at
Nice.
5 and then till she gets home sometimes it's like 5:30, and then till you get dinner and sit down, and the night just like gets away from you, dude. It's so crazy. And actually the last couple nights I haven't been like I've been up till like 11:30.
Ooh.
Which I know like isn't super late, but dude, I'm getting older, and like, man, it's just taking a toll on me. I'm like,
But
but
you get up
sometimes
at
that's when I have no, okay, so my alarm goes off about 5:30.
yeah, same
So
for
it's
me
not as
now.
crazy. It's not as crazy as it used to be. I used to have to be at work at 5, so my
Ugh.
alarm would go off at like 3:50 because I was terrified of being late because I was the one that had to open the building, and I didn't want
Yeah.
my boss getting calls about where are you at, you overslept, what's going on. So I had like 3 or 4 alarms. I mean, it was crazy. Um, so, but yeah,
That's
I
terrible.
mean, I get yeah, it was insane. Like that's the middle of the night. If my alarm goes
Yes.
off before 4 o'clock, that's the middle of the night. Even
Agreed.
4:30 is like, man, that is so early. But it's like,
Yep.
okay. I mean, you can go to bed at 11, wake up at 4. You got 5 hours of sleep technically, which you know, I don't know,
Is
but
not ideal, but it's survivable. But yeah,
it
yeah.
is, yeah. But I
Anything
don't
with a
know. It's just
three
like a
is
mental
nighttime,
thing.
for sure.
Yes, yes. So
And really four. I'm gonna even go four, but lots of people say
even
that,
4
right?
is, yeah.
If they're
I don't.
like if you're a trucker or you are a hunter or you do some type of construction, some people, oh, I wake up at four. They might wake up at 4:55, but it's like that is still basically the middle of the night. Three
Yeah,
is nighttime. That's
is nice.
not the morning. That's
And I'll say that in the summertime, it's not so bad because like the weather's nice. It'll get light out about 6, 5, a little before whatever.
yeah,
But like in the wintertime, if you look at the weather app and like the highs and lows and the temperatures and everything, that 5 in the morning, 6 in the
yeah,
morning, 4, that time is when it's the coldest. Like that's when the low happens. Like overnight
yeah,
lows, it takes a minute for it to like get that cold,
yeah.
and
It's
then when
not
it warms
midnight.
back up, it
It's
takes, yeah. So like
like
to
an hour
me,
before the sun comes, 2 hours
that's
before the
just
sun
like
comes
the
up.
worst time then because it's dark, it's cold, it's still nighttime. That's like the hardest time to get up. But
Yep.
no, I'm usually getting up about 5:30. I usually leave the house around 6, a little after something to be at work at 6:30. So it's not bad. It's doable, but it's just like, man, sometimes I wish I could go to bed at 9 o'clock, but there's still, like I said, till someone gets home and you get dinner, and it's like we're
Yeah.
still doing laundry and dishes and just
And
you know,
homework. Kids are older.
homework and
Like
like
they
kind of
got.
decompressing and showering and doing all that stuff until later now, which is fine. It's just that stage of life that we're in, and especially now,
Yeah.
just this season. Like Rochelle works at the pumpkin farm September and October essentially, and then after that, it'll kind of quiet down a little bit, and she'll be able to like she'll get the kids from school, so then she'll be home at 4 rather than 5:30 or
Right.
closer to 6. So then it feels like you got a couple more hours together and different things, but.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
For sure.
it's all good.
Yeah.
So
It's a crazy time, but then it'll be the holidays, so it's like crazy, but in a better way.
just
Like
with
it's just
something
gonna be
else,
like
but
the
yeah,
fun, crazy,
yes,
and
yeah,
your
and
schedules
we'll all
lighten
be
up a little
together.
bit.
Crazy, yeah.
Yes. And your two, three, four, five jobs you were working, you got that back down to one now, or not yet? Well, you're doing
No, I'm
pumpkin. You got three
yeah.
still.
So it was at 3, went to 2, and then back up to 3. But the third one is just Pumpkin Creek. I drive the tractor on Saturdays, which
Okay.
is low key awesome. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I don't really have to talk to anybody. I can just get on
Play
there.
farmer a little bit. Yeah, you're just because you're doing
Yeah,
the
the
rides
tractor's
for
put,
the
put, put, put,
kids.
put, 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 put,
Yeah,
put. So like no one can talk. I can't really talk to anybody. No one can hear. So it's just like I'm zoned in on my route I'm driving, and
yeah.
you know,
You got
it,
the sign up. Don't talk to the bus driver.
yeah.
Don't talk.
So then, I mean, I'm talking to people as they're like unloading and loading on the wagon and stuff, but then that only takes a few minutes, and then I'm
Yeah,
taking off driving again. So. But it's
perfect.
it's
Yeah.
outside. I love being outside. Uh, you know,
Mhm.
it's fine. It's just one day a week. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
that's nice. That's
And
good stuff.
the other part time job is um, pretty slow and steady. So um, they used to close at 10, and now they close at
Oh.
9.
Hmm.
So um, which I have mixed emotions about because it's like, all right, well, if I work 2 shifts a week, you took 4 hours a paycheck away from me, which is almost another shift. But
Yeah.
also getting off at 9 is a lot better than getting off at 10.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah,
to get
that's true.
home. So it's like, all right, I'm home. Like I can be home. I mean, they close at 9. Usually by the time we get all cleaned up and stuff, it's maybe 9:20, 9:30. But usually like 9:20, we're getting out of there. So then I can be home, showered in my PJs, sitting on the couch by 10. And
Right.
then it's like, all right, well, now we can watch an episode of The Office or something together before I actually go to bed. But if I
Right. Yeah.
am leaving at 10, it's like I come home, I shower, I get out, it's like 10:30. I'm like, I want to go to bed. It's
Oh
so
yeah.
even though it's just an hour, it like does make a difference. But
I think
it's getting, yeah, I mean, it's still been being fine. I'm only working like 2 nights a week there, which is fine.
yeah.
It's still going to give me enough of a month of a like little side monthly income to cover what I need it to cover. And
Nice.
honestly, probably by Christmas, end of the calendar year, I'll probably have to quit there because Zoe will be doing volleyball, Eli will be doing hockey, and right now I just have one kid doing a sport. But then when you have two kids doing a sport, it's like, all right, well, hockey practice on Sundays. He's going to have games Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
If Zoe has practice, on a Tuesday or Thursday, games on Friday and Saturday, like I don't have any time, church on
No
Wednesdays, like I
days.
don't have
No days.
any time to do anything. And I don't want to be the person that is like, well, I'll still work one day a week, but this week it's going to have to be Monday and next week it'll be this day. And it's like, listen,
Yeah.
if I can't commit to giving you at least 2 shifts a week, but
Yeah.
more like 3 shifts a week, then it's not worth it to me. It's not worth it to you to try and work around my schedule enough. It's just,
Yeah.
whatever. It's just too
Yeah.
much of a
Right.
headache, especially when they're trying to schedule and I have to remember on my app, like, oh, what I put my availability for next week and all that stuff. And then if I forget,
Oh yeah.
then it's like, hey, I got to switch a schedule. It's like, that's not worth the headache for the extra $70 every 2 weeks that it would be. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. For sure.
I
It's
just, whatever.
when it's locked in and it's more like even if it's limited hours, if it's like look every Thursday and every Sunday I
Yeah.
can work, then it's like
Yeah.
they know, and you can go from there. That's nice. Loving your
So,
owl, the octopus,
yes, sir.
bug. I have an owl plush, like it's like a pillow pet
Mm.
type of a thing, and it's owl, but I don't have it in
We
here.
have one around
I
here
gotta
somewhere too.
I gotta give a
Yeah.
shout out. Is it from you? Is that where I got it?
Ooh, I don't
This
think so. No.
I gotta give a shout out though to my beautiful wife. This Leah got me this
Nice.
for our anniversary. It is
Yes,
official.
happy anniversary. 4 years.
Thank you. 4 years. Yep. It
On the
is
I don't know the actual day though, I'm sorry.
15th. That's okay. I don't know yours.
Okay. Yeah. 15th you said?
Yes, October
Okay.
15th. Yep.
Gotcha. All right.
Um, but
Nice.
the hat is new old stock. So it was actually
Yes.
real, tag still on it, and I don't remember where the date is, but this is from the back-to-back cups. This is the 98 one.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
That's awesome.
which was the first one, right? It was 98, 99?
97,
Yes. No,
98.
97, 98. So the second one,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
actually behind me
You
is the second
turned
one
around and looked at the
also.
papers, so
Yeah, that's and I still said it wrong. But yeah, that's you know what, in Leah's mind it's probably like this is my favorite year, which it probably
yeah.
is because the famous, doing the
Because of
lap
the
in the
whole
chair
yeah.
is like it is one of my earlier memories that the 97 brawl and like I was born in
Yeah.
90, right? So it's like I'm 7, 8 and your team's the best team and we
Yeah.
win twice and it's like and we beat people up. I'm like hockey's great. We win all the time, which we all know as Red Wings fans hasn't been true until 25, 26. How about them Wings?
Yeah.
Just
So,
firing off the wins. I'm just riding the high. I don't really
oh
think we'll
yeah,
win
for
80
sure.
in a row, but we might. But,
I mean, you know.
I'm just enjoying it. Just enjoying
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Uh, it has been fun. I do think this is gonna help them. And what's the old saying? Like you can't. Uh, is it like you can't make the playoffs in the first month, but you can lose the playoffs or
Yeah.
something? Or, like there's something like that where you know you just want to get off to a good start. These early wins, add them up, pile them up, get these points now. Make it easier on yourself later on in the season. Don't have it come down to where it's like the last month and you have to win 18 of your 20 games in that month to make the playoffs. It's like come out firing, set the tone, ride that high. Build. You have things to build on um, as the season's going along. So yeah, I'm right there with you, Stu. I'm riding it. I'm enjoying it now. We'll see how long it goes, but yeah, it'll be good. And there's
Exactly.
some great young players
Oh.
that are contributing and making a difference, and so I love that. I love the just it being a whole team effort, and it's not like
Hmm.
someone's just carrying everybody. It's like this is good. I like it.
Yes, it's true because yes, it can be incredible to watch a superstar just whatever. Maybe it was 2 years ago, Crosby just dragging the Penguins into the playoffs,
Yeah,
and it was just like now on paper they had a lot of good players, but they're older, Malkin and Letang and
right.
whoever else,
They
right?
weren't
But it was
performing.
like it didn't matter. Crosby was 40 also. It was just like I refuse to
Yeah,
lose, and that is kind of cool and sports inspiring. But on the
yeah,
other side, the Red Wings right now they have that young speed, that vibe, but they're playing well. They're playing defensively. They're not giving up on games. Their goalie bails them out one game, then the next game they score a bunch of goals, etc. It's like
yeah.
kind of similar vibe to like even the Sharks, except the Sharks are terrible. But like they got that
Yes,
young talent, that it's like exciting to watch,
yeah,
but then they lose. And the Red Wings have kind of they're better than the Sharks, but they've been in that middle disappointment. So now it's like
yes,
even if they end the year in the middle, if it's just they're the wild card one, or they're
yeah.
maybe this year the Atlantic is weird. Lightning aren't playing
Could
good.
be, could
Boston's
be.
overperforming. Buffalo's
Florida's
in the
not been
basement
great.
again. Florida's got
Toronto's not
injuries and they're
been
not playing
great.
good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like you said, you
You
can't
never
make the
know.
playoffs in the first games, but you
Yeah,
can miss or whatever. You can lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Um,
it like sounds stupid because it's so early in the year, but like the Lightning only have one win in 6 games. So
yeah.
you think they'll probably make the playoffs, but it's like, okay, well,
You start digging
that's a
though.
big point swing.
Yeah, you start digging yourself a hole in that first month. It's hard to climb out of it.
Yeah. And it's like right now there's Sabres, Senators, Lightning, Blue Jackets, and Islanders all have 4 points. So it's like
Yeah.
a lot can happen. You could dig yourself out, but the Hurricanes have 10,
Yeah.
the
It is
Canadians have
still
10, the
early.
Red Wings have 10s. It's like
Yeah. It is
you're
still
you
early, but I mean, you want to get off on the right foot.
yeah.
And the other thing is too, I loved Wings got waxed opening game,
Hmm.
and McClellan just lays into him right out of the gate, and we've seen
Perfect.
how they responded. Yeah, played it
Perfect.
perfectly. Played
So
it perfect.
far, Todd McCullough, I knew was a good coach, but like he's out west. I don't follow the Sharks. I didn't
Yeah.
follow the was he on the Kings? No.
He was with Kings. He was
Anyways,
with the Oilers a little bit. Yeah.
and so it's like I didn't really follow his career. I don't follow coaches' careers, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like he is good. He wins. He's been on good teams. He's helped develop young talent. But to watch it more closely with the Red Wings, where it's just a lot of this kind of no nonsense. Like you played horrible, you
Yeah.
got your butts kicked to Montreal. At the end of the year, it might be you and Montreal 1 point from each other. That was pathetic and unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's like, and then the whole thing. I don't put that much weight on it, but I just love the alternate captains thing he did with.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry. They would switch
Where
them.
he said
Home
we're not
games,
swi-
away
we're an
games.
original six team. We're not switching. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like no disrespect to somebody like a Patrick Kane. Maybe before the younger coaches were like, this guy's going to the Hall of Fame. Like, we
Right.
don't want to, how can he
Yeah.
not have an A? McCullough just comes in and he goes, okay, Larkin's got the C. Raymond and Sider are the best players.
Yeah. That's our young
Stop.
core. That's who
Like,
we've built around.
boom, boom. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yes, DeBrincat probably is the best goal scorer maybe right now, pure goal scorer, but it's like Raymond's probably the most talented, pure talent, and Sider is the core of defense by the
Yeah.
tenfold. So it's like we're just
And
done.
those guys you
Not with this
drafted and
nonsense.
developed on your own, which I love that how Detroit
Yes.
does that. Sometimes it's a little slower than I would like it to be, but you got Larkin, who's a career wing guy. Raymond drafted by the Wings, Sider drafted by the Wing. So
Yep.
you have those guys that have only ever played for the Wings. That's
Hmm.
what they were all about.
Yeah.
Homegrown talent, homegrown players. So
Exactly.
not saying you
I love
can't
it.
bring, uh, other players, but
Yeah.
DeBrincat and Kane came from other, it just, there's something different that
Yeah.
I do like about that, having
A
guys that
hundred
have only
percent.
played for the Wings be your leaders.
And there's people that were veterans that didn't pan out very well, right? Like Petrie and stuff. But it's like you bring in that pedigree. A Kane, even Tarasenko didn't play well, but he still is like he's
Yeah,
got a lot of clout coming into the locker room, and like those type of people, it's like yeah, that's nice. You can contribute. James Van Riemsdyk, I'm sure, is a great veteran leader off the ice with the guys. What's that
yeah,
got to do with hockey? You know, the letters
right,
are on the three best players that are all homegrown, that are from the organization, and I just love that. Anyways, not to
yeah,
get too far down a rabbit hole, but they are in first place, which has never happened in our podcast. So we're gonna take a minute. All right, they
yeah.
could end the
Well,
year 32nd, and I'm still gonna be happy about the way this started.
yes, yes.
Oh, and also, by the way, well, the Golden Knights just won, I guess, so they messed it up. Vegas, we're not counting Vegas. The two top teams in the NHL were the Red Wings and the Avalanche until
Mm,
like this whole week. And I'm
yeah,
like, okay,
yeah,
what year? What year is?
yeah.
Maybe it really is '98 again, or
Maybe.
'95, or whichever year, 2001, 2002. But anyways, no, I would vomit. I would if the Red Wings and the
Oh,
Avalanche
yeah.
ever played each other in the finals. I'd call in sick to work. That whole
Yeah,
uh,
for sure.
just whew.
Mm.
Okay. Anyways. let's talk some fantasy stuff then.
All right, all
Um,
right. Let's do
this
it.
pod, we're almost 20 minutes in already, so that's good. We wanted to do some of our winners and losers of the draft. We talked about last pod where we had all four guys on, so I feel like you did a little better homework than me. Do you want to grab one of your top or one of your bottom losers? I don't know.
Yeah, so are we doing the best pick, worst pick of the draft, or are we doing studs and scrubs?
Let's do best pick, worst pick of the draft. You think, or no?
Okay, let's do
Want to do
that.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, yes, let's do that, and then studs and scrubs, and then I got a little something something
yeah.
Nick's hockey history lesson. Um, do we
We'll
say
do our
Nick's
draft
history
stuff.
lesson or Nick hockey's lesson?
Nick hockey history, I think is what it was called.
Hockey history something. It was a little play on the
Little.
NHL there for a minute, but so
Oh, you
anyway,
know what? I'm too slow to even notice that that happened. So,
yeah,
uh,
so it was the
Nick
NHL for
hockey lesson.
Nick's hockey lesson or
Hockey
history lesson. I feel like they're all like
history lesson.
history stuff. So we'll go Nick's history lesson.
I like that.
Um, but
It
I'll
also
have a
opens
better
it up.
segue. Yeah, I'll have a better segue from studs and scrubs to the NHL. So we'll start with best pick, worst
Okay.
picks. Um, all right, I'm gonna give you a best pick.
Okay.
And it's not my number one best pick, but it's just a best pick. I got three. I probably got three of each.
Okay.
So I don't know how many you want me to cover now, but I'll just start off here.
Give me
So
one. We'll start there.
best pick went to number. He was drafted 195th overall. Scott Wedgwood.
Ooh, good call.
He is currently ranked number 12. He's got 5 wins on the year. He's got a 1.48 goals against average with a 90.938 save percentage. So basically a 94% save percentage. Um, Now, he has probably gotten some help because Blackwood's been hurt. So I think he's
Yeah.
started a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, playing like this, you got to think he's carved out some more time, got himself a longer leash, even when Blackwood comes back healthy. I mean, you're going to ride the hot hand, right? And this is a pretty hot hand, like you were just saying. The Avs, one of the best teams in the league right now. So, getting a goalie like that wasn't, you know, when you're going to the draft, everyone is thinking Hellebuck, Shesterkin, Jake Ottinger.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and especially when teams kind of split with the goalie, like we've been seeing here in kind of the recent years or whatever, more of a timeshare type deal, to get
Yeah.
one of the goalies to be playing that well, who can, maybe tip the scales and go, maybe they're going to start 60% of the games instead of 50, or maybe even 70-30, or whatever, 65 to percent of the time. And I don't know what team he's on currently. I didn't write that down, but Scott Wedgwood currently ranked number 12 overall and was picked 195th overall. That's pretty good draft value, I think. And
That
what round would that have been?
it's round 17, which for our league is the final round because 18 is your
Basically,
keeper,
18's your keeper, yeah.
except for that weird thing that happened this year with me. But
Yeah.
still yet to hold my trophy. Is that
Okay.
Aaron?
So
No.
my buddy Chris from the rink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got him at number 17, which I'm just gonna throw out there. He For goalies, he picked Logan Thompson higher up, which like should
And
in theory be good, but
yeah. And
he
I
played
want to say
so
that
well
he auto
last year.
drafted. I want to say that his team auto drafted, but
Okay,
still,
well, good job
um,
Yahoo then. We'll give some
good job
praise to
Yahoo.
Yahoo because we
Yahoo
normally throw
lucked
shade
out
at it.
because usually Yahoo is terrible, but Yahoo, you lucked out this time picking
And
up
you know
Scott
what?
Wedgwood.
Wedgwood deserves it. He's playing incredible, but in a normal year, he's the backup goalie. So like
Yes.
Yahoo
Yeah.
still failed. They just got lucky
Yes. Yeah.
because they also
So
drafted Cole Perfetti, which Cole Perfetti was hurt before our draft. Like it was announced he wasn't
Mhm.
going to start. So he got
Okay.
picked in round 15 by the same person, but Yahoo failed
Okay.
a little bit. Like Cole Perfetti's
Yeah.
pretty good, but like he drafted an injured player for me and then a backup goalie. So
Yeah.
you're not that good.
Right. Yeah. So, but anyway,
That's
that's
a
that's
good
who I
one
got.
though.
Do you want me to
Bummer
go
is
with a?
that might be the winner though. Now that I didn't
Well, I
realize
don't
he was
know.
number
I
17 because that is a
Yeah.
good pick. I had one that I mentioned last pod, so I don't want to blow smoke at you too much.
Okay.
But um, where did I lose it? I'm looking for your team. Round number 9, pick 131. You took Ryan Nugent Hopkins, center and a winger. And, this season he's probably not blowing the doors off it yet, but, like, that's a really good pick that late. He still has 4 goals
Yeah.
already. They've only played 6 games. I mean, the guy's
Yeah.
on pace to get 70 goals. He's probably going to get 35. But, he's done it before. He's gotten over 100 before. So
Yeah.
last year he had probably a career low, 49 points. I'm not sure 100% on that. Maybe not a career low, but I'm looking at his points, and the 104 was 3 years ago. It's an outlier, but he's a consistent 60-point guy. So it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
taking him that low in the draft is a great steal. And do you have another Oiler? I thought maybe like that made it even sweeten the pot.
Mm, I
Maybe you
don't
didn't, but
think I have another
I was
Oiler
confusing
now.
it because you took Stu Skinner round 11, which is a great
Yes.
pick because I know that he's an easy
Yeah.
target to make fun of. But are you kidding me? Starting goalie for Edmonton in round 11?
Yeah.
That's a steal. That's a steal. So I kind of cheated with two there. But I mentioned them last pod too, so I shouldn't have said those names. But I do feel like those are really good steals. You've got another
Yeah.
one here, actually. I don't. Maybe I'll save it and throw it back to you. But that's. I feel like it's a really good pick, but it's. I like it because I am very bullish on the Mammoth this year. And in
Mm,
round 12, you took Nick Schmaltz. And I don't
okay.
know if you would have been able to predict he's as good as he is this year, but
Yeah,
that is
probably
a
not.
good round 12.
What number overall was that?
158.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, there were some really good people who went lower than him, that
Yeah.
are more well known, like Barbashev,
Well, it's funny you
and
say
just some
Barbashev
names.
because yeah, he was last I looked at earlier today, he was ranked like 33rd overall,
Yeah.
and he was I want to say the last pick in round 17,
He might have been 204, and then
something like that. Yeah.
this year I had an 18, which is weird for us, and that was
Yeah.
207. So there was somebody. Oh no, because then it
Now,
was round 18, auto pick, yeah,
yeah.
or keepers.
Now I think Aaron, the guy that picked him, I think had to drop him. He was playing me last week, and it came down to the last day, and he had like 3 or 4 ads that he made over the weekend or something to eke out a win against me. We were neck and neck there for the whole time,
Yeah.
and I was man, dang it, Yahoo. So what happened to me was had Stuart Skinner in my starting lineup because I
Mhm.
swear Yahoo, maybe he didn't have the green check, but they had, you know how they're giving you projected points now?
Uh huh.
Skinner was projected like 4 or 5 points, like he was going to start the game. So I put him in my lineup. It was an early afternoon game, like 2 o'clock. I was on the
Yep.
tractor at Pumpkin Creek, so I didn't get the check right away. Turns out he didn't start. I had Tristan Jari on my bench, who got like a 30 save shutout against the Sharks that night, got 15 fantasy points, which if I start him instead of Skinner, I win.
Ooh.
But I'm sure I didn't go through Aaron's lineup. I'm sure he probably had some moves that he could have made throughout the week that would have given him some more points. You know, it's always one of those hindsight's 2020 and Monday morning quarterback where you're like, I should have started this guy, you know, but it's also easy to look and be like, dang it, dude, if I'd have just played that guy, which I would have
Yeah.
because Stuart Skinner wasn't starting. It wasn't like I had
Right.
to pick 2 goalies because I had 4 that were starting and I just picked the wrong one. It was like, no, Yahoo said that they projected Skinner with points, so I put him in my
Yeah.
lineup, and then he didn't start, so I could have had another goalie play in place of him, but Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Barbashev, he's one of those guys that just seems like he's always, his ceiling might not be very high, but his floor is pretty consistent. He's going to
Right.
get you those points, and um, but he's just not. I don't know, just not real flashy about it, or not someone that you think about. He's just consistent.
Yeah.
So,
In fact,
um,
if I can pull him up, like 3 goals and 3 assists in only what did they played 6 games, 7 games? So
yeah,
yeah, ranked 33, like you said. I mean, that's a tough drop. I mean, it's important to win
yeah.
the week, so that was probably worth it. But I don't know. I just
I
lost
just
last week, and I just
I
left it.
just think
I
there
just
might have
said,
been a
I'll take
left
a loss.
another player. There's probably another player to drop. The thing is sometimes too you might have had a worse player on your team that you could have dropped, but maybe they were playing a game on Sunday and Barbashev wasn't. So now you got to
Yes.
drop someone that doesn't have a game to gain a game to
Yeah,
try to
I
win the
ran
week.
into that a little bit where I had two
So that
people
can be
hurt,
tricky.
put them on injured reserve. I added some people that weren't very good, but then when they were healthy, they had no game. So it's like, am I gonna take them
Yeah,
off of IR and then drop somebody? So I just left them
right.
there, and then I got kind of stuck on like, oh, well, here's somebody I'll throw out because he's undrafted and is top player.
Yeah,
One of the top players in the NHL right now is Shane Pinto, right? So I should
yeah,
probably leave him. That was probably one of my studs that I could have gone with. I wrote down a couple names, but he's killing it. Sorry if I stole one of your studs, but it's like he went undrafted. So okay, let's pick him up and add him. Well, I gotta drop 2 people, get those guys off IR, and then I'll actually drop a third player to do the swap. And
right.
I'm like, I'm not dropping
Yeah,
3 people to.
just for one.
He's got to score 6 goals for me to win the week.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah,
is he worth using all my ads or dropping so many people? And then it was like I took some riskier picks this year. Like I've got Haberdew and some people that I took lower. That it's like you never know. He's probably not going to return to 100 points ever again, but he's
yeah,
going to get 80 points, maybe 65, depends on the year. Is he a drop? Is he a keep? You don't know.
right.
So it's like, am I going to blow up my whole team to try to desperately win one week or just let it ride and say, okay, I'm 1-1. Let's go into week 3. Nick and I playing each other, which I didn't
Yeah.
realize that we were playing each other until it was Monday, and I'm like, oh crap.
Oh, yeah. So sticking with the Golden Knights, this guy usually is pretty good, and I sometimes feel like he's always kind of overlooked. And I got him number 107 overall, which probably isn't super late, um, is what I'm thinking. But Mark Stone,
Oh yeah.
currently ranked number 3
Yeah,
overall.
honestly, debatably the pick of the draft. I mean, he is
And
a
but now
well-established
he's
superstar,
but now he's hurt. So I'm going to be
which
without
is
him for
always
a
a
while.
problem with
So it's
him,
kind of
right?
a
I get
problem,
that's
but when he's healthy, man,
he is something. And
he's
with
worth it.
Eichel now, it's like, and who is on? Is Dorofeyev on line one with them? I think.
I believe so, yeah.
And I just heard some quote from Marner that was probably throwing shade a little bit. He was like, "Oh, he's one of the best goal scorers I've ever played with,"
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
like he didn't say the
Absolutely.
best, but
Yeah. Yeah.
come on, Matthews is potting 60 goals more than once, and it's like, oh
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dorothea, best goal scorer I've ever played with, was like, okay. Um, and
Yeah.
he's on
So
a
that would be
line with,
another one that I have for
I mean,
best picks. Was
that's no, that's totally a good one. I just had
but
one that I meant to say. Ah man, who was I gonna pick? Let me see. I know I've got some written down cheat sheet.
all right.
Um, but I might have said them last pod, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to pick a loser of the draft, and
Okay.
it
Let's
is
do it.
somebody that we brought up last pod, and I respect the gamble. I had his silly name typed in so I could see the round. Sorry if you guys hear clicking. This is a good example. This is pick number 91. Okay. Nick just took
Okay.
Mark Stone at 107, right? So this is round 8. You took Mark Stone in round 9, I think. Mark Stone you took in round 6, 107.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
person was
So I mean,
taken.
he was. Six isn't a diamond in the rough. Six, you're still getting good players, but just the fact
Yeah,
that he was ranked number 3 overall right now
you know what it
kind
is,
of
though?
took me by surprise.
I'm reading this wrong. 107 overall is not round 6. It was your 6th pick.
Ah,
Let me
okay.
look. So we got a little error here because people are thinking,
Well, that might
yeah,
have been
it was round 9.
okay.
Yeah, round
Yeah.
9, Mark Stone, and pick number 11. For example, I went in front of you, and who did I pick? I picked Charlie McAvoy. Pretty good for round 9.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I won't throw too much shade at myself. But we're talking round 9. I got McAvoy. You got Mark Stone. Aho Taco 2 got Jeremy Swayman. Those are
Mm,
some good round, and also round 9,
yeah.
Dorofeyev, Jordan Binnington. Like, I don't know what we were doing in 7 and 8, but those are
Yeah.
some good picks in round 9.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's some okay people in round 8, but I'm just kind of glancing at, like, you know, where my loser of the draft is about to come from. We have
Okay.
some okay players, like Hollow is good, Verhaeghe's good, Rust is good, but then the next round we're slamming Dorofeyev,
You're
Binnington,
you're
Luke
going
Hughes, McAvoy. Like,
you're going pretty deep for your worst picks.
well, just because
What?
I feel like round 8 is high enough where maybe it's not the worst pick of the draft, but I think
Okay.
it's the
Well,
worst
what do we
pick.
got? Who you going worst pick?
I think it's
One
Miles's
of,
worst
not
pick,
the worst,
probably.
but one of the worst
One of
picks.
them. One of them. I'll just go loser of the draft. This is one
Okay.
of the loser picks, which is not throwing shade because I think Miles tried to risk it because he had a good
Okay.
year last year, and he's not on track this year. Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Ah, okay.
No goals, no assists, no points, +1,
Oof.
no power play points,
Wow.
5 shots on goal in 7 games.
Dang. Yeah, that's
That's
not
a
great.
that's a drop. Not to mention, we now do hits. Where is my list of all players? See if I can get his total points real fast. Sorry. Uh, Pierre, where are you, Pierre? Pierre hits, by the way. If you're not watching on YouTube, two
Wow. Yeah.
hits. My boy is 6'4", 220. 2 hits.
Yeah, he should
I
be out
know
there
that
throwing that
he
around.
is a goal scorer, right? That's his thing. But if you've got no goals and you've got no assists and you're gigantic, hit some people. And you play for
Yeah.
the Capitals, right? Like, Ovechkin's a wrecking ball. Tom Wilson's a wrecking ball. What's his name? The rookie, the college kid, number 9. Can't think of it. He's a wrecking ball. It's like, dude, your whole team, even John Carlson a little bit, like, your whole team plays physical and
Yeah.
smashes. And you're just like out there for skate, just getting a sweat on, like it's just men's league. I mean,
Yeah.
so that is maybe a little low for the worst pick, but he's one of the worst picks because you took him in round 8, and it's a drop. You got to drop him from your team. So
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I like
you know what I
that
mean?
where you draft them and then they're droppable like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I drafted somebody I dropped, and I'm like, bummer.
Yeah. Okay. No, I get where you're coming from
You
now.
know what I
Okay.
mean? Like to take someone in 8 and then have to drop them. You know what though?
Yeah.
I probably should drop my round 8. So
It happens. All right. So I have 3 worst picks, and well, one of them's kind of a double thing here. And I will go in like I will save my worst pick,
oh,
like the
we might have
best.
the same number one worst pick.
I don't know. All of mine are in round 1.
The one I'm thinking of is round 1, the worst pick of the whole
Okay.
draft.
Okay. So I'll start with the third worst. And
Okay.
this one's kind of a double whammy. And I'm not sure um what uh, Ajo's Tacos, Ajo's Tacos, Ajo was thinking or what his thing was. I guess his was um, round one and then the first pick of round two. But he went back to back defensemen. Now, I'm not always necessarily against that. I don't know that I would go back to back defensemen. And if I do, I'm not picking Darlene and Bouchard.
Yep.
I understand Bouchard had a great season that one year and he plays with the Oilers and can put up points and whatever, but I just I didn't love those. It kind of threw me off, especially
Yep.
now that we only have three defensemen uh, slots. So teams only need to carry three, so you don't need to. There's going to be some more available. I did kind of like it when there were four defensive spots because
Yeah.
then I would load up. And if I had three, I loved having at least two top defenders and not like on a team, but like two top guys that are going to get the power play points. I'm talking Roman Yossi, a Kale McCarr, an Adam Fox, a John Carlson. If I
Yep.
could get two of those guys, oh, I've already got a better defensive group than any other team in the league. If I can
Yeah.
snag two of those, and then maybe a third, maybe my third is a Charlie McAvoy, later, and then my fourth is just whoever Rasmus
Anyone.
Anderson for the Flames, who kind of gets lucky every now and then with the power play stuff or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, but taking those two guys in as high as he did with his first two picks, especially when you're on that back to back. So he drafted last, so he's picking 12th and then 13th, which isn't all bad because if you pick first, you essentially have like the number one and the number 20 player. So if one gets hurt, well, now your best player is 20th, you know.
Yeah.
But after the second round, like when it flips to the second round, okay, you have the first pick, but then it's a while before your next pick because now you have to wait for all of round two, round three to come back to you.
Yes.
So I didn't love those picks. If you're gonna go D there, I mean, there were some other ones. Like I said, Hedman, Roman Yossi, even Zach Wierenski, I think got drafted a couple picks later then, who currently is ranked 41. Darlene is currently ranked 185, and Bouchard is currently ranked 423. So I didn't love those going back to back defensemen. And if you're going to go defensemen, I would have taken some other proven guys. And that's just the thing for me. Yes, Darlene has had a good year or two before. Yes, Bouchard's had a good year or two before. But I want guys that have proven it, that have been in the league. I would have taken. Now, I'm not saying I would have taken them that high in that spot. But I could have waited, and you probably could have gotten a Roman Yossi or a Hedman or snag a forward there or the top goalie and get
Yep.
Warinsky. I think you put yourself in a better position if you take, one solid defenseman and another position, either be it a
Yes.
top goalie or a top forward, whoever's available. But I didn't love. I mean, I loved it because he's taking players then that I wasn't going to pick anyway, so he's leaving people for me. But um, it just kind of threw me off, and I was like, "Oh man, I don't think that's going to work out." But now there's still time, and I'm not saying that those guys. Bouchard, I think, has a better chance to rebound than Darlene. I know Buffalo's kind of on a tear right now, but Bouchard, yeah, if you got a guy that's running the power play with McDavid and Draisaitl, he's going to accidentally get 15
Yeah.
to 20 power play points. So is he going to be that bad all year? No. But with your first pick and your second pick, you got to nail it. You
Yeah.
can't. I mean, you can't miss that early in the draft. You need guys that have that high floor. That I'm picking someone and they are at least a point per game player,
Yes.
or they're going to
Because
have so many hits, or they're a top goalie like a Hellebuck or a Shesterkin that's going to play most of their team's games.
yes. Because
So
that's a good example because I agree with you that Bouchard might be Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being mean. I was gonna say Bouchard is the worst pick of the draft at 13, but it's really Dahlin at 12 probably because Bouchard, like you said, at the end of 82 games, he's gonna get points, even if they're Hyman tips or it's just I made a three
Yes.
foot pass to McDavid. He went around the whole team and then slid it over to Draisaitl on the power play. It's like
Right.
you're gonna get
Yeah.
a good plus minus in theory. You're going to get secondary assists in theory. You're going to get power play points in theory. So even a bad year for him, he's probably going to get 50 points. But
Yeah.
it's so high. For example, the same Ahos Tacos 2, like you said, if you pick number 12, number 13, the end of round 1, the beginning of round 2, you got to wait forever to come back. His 36, 37 picks, I think, are way better. Round 3, he took Martin Nietzsche's. In round 4, he took
Mm.
Kempe
Yeah.
back to back. That's pretty good. But to the theory of let's load up the D is like everyone was available except for McCarr and Quinn Hughes. I think maybe
Yeah.
not Fox. No, Fox was available.
Fox was available. Yeah.
Fox was
So I
taken
would have
way
probably taken
later.
Fox there. Now I don't know what he's currently ranked, but I mean, he's just
He's doing
proven it
pretty good.
more
Yeah, because
than
I
some of those other guys. And I like the Rangers, but I mean, you got to figure the Rangers on paper have talent. They're a better team than Buffalo. Fox is way more involved, I think. I just
yeah.
that's just my thinking on it. But
Well,
we'll see how it
you're
works out, I guess.
good at fantasy, so it's now one of the gambles you took with D early was Lane Hudson. Speaking of,
Yes.
he's so
What?
offensive that you think it'll probably pan out, but like he did only have 1 year at that amazing pace, so it's a
Yes.
bit of a gamble, but like you've got
And
a
I
very
think where did
solid
I take
team.
him?
Round 3, um,
Okay. I think in a weird way it did kind of throw me because defensemen were getting taken, and then I got
yeah,
nervous.
but
So
then you got Harley way
I
later,
bet
which made
by
up for it.
then though, I bet by then, like I think someone snagged Hedman kind of
Yeah,
early. Fox was
Hedman went.
probably gone. So like I saw all these good defensemen getting taken, and I panicked a little bit maybe, and I was like, ah, crap, I gotta get someone. And
Yeah,
I know he had a great
and
year last year, but I just
and I
so
might have
we'll
done
see.
that with someone too, but and it really, to be fair, it might have started with Nally, but that's more of a good pick in my mind. He took Quinn Hughes, number 9 overall, and it's like,
Did Nally take him?
yeah, Irish Canadian Pirates is Nally, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
so it's like, to me, that's pretty high for a defenseman in general. Like, for example, Kale McCarr, I must have had our keepers wrong. Kale McCarr went number 2 overall, which
yeah,
you can't really nitpick that one too much because it's Kale McCarr. But it's like, it went Connor McDavid, then McCarr. In my mind, it's McDavid and then probably McKinnon,
McKinnon.
but Draisaitl is a center winger. So in fantasy, it gets a little weird where it's like, well, maybe
Yeah,
Draisaitl gets a bump. But now that we have hits, I think you
yeah,
could debate McKinnon might be number 1. Like,
yeah.
so to
And I mean,
go,
McCarr is essentially a forward that you get to play at your
you get
defenseman
to play at a
position.
D position. So like McCarr for
But
me is the only one I would even consider in the top 5, even Quinn Hughes. I don't think he
yeah.
scores enough goals. Probably Quinn Hughes is amazing, but
So
I think McCarr gets more goals. But then Matthews, dude,
yes,
Matthews is until number 7. So like
yeah,
whoever Lucic and Chong is very good at fantasy, right? That's
yeah. That's
uh,
Jace.
that Jace. But it's
Yeah.
like Brady Kachuk, I thought will be really good this
Are
year
you? Are these
because
your
of the
worst picks?
hits. These are I'm nitpicking. My worst pick is probably Darlene, but
Okay.
I mean
Well,
Brady
I just
Kachuk
because
that high is too high.
okay.
How
Well,
many
don't
points does
be.
he get? 70 points,
St-
right? I mean I know
okay.
that hits
So
matter now, but like Tom
are
Wilson
you
and
got to
Brady
pick? Who's
Kachuk.
your worst pick? Is this who you're going with? What's your
Um,
next worst pick?
I got sidetracked a little bit. I wanted to say
You,
if Ajos Tacos thinks I got to do a pick back to back, right? Let's
yeah.
say he changes his strategy and he says I'm just going to get goalies, right? I'm going to lock him
Yeah.
up. Well, Miles takes Connor Hellebuck, number 6.
Yeah,
Debatably too high, but it's Hellebuck. It's everyone knows in the
yeah,
regular season he's the pick. That's fair. So then at 12 and 13, you could take Shesterkin Bobrovsky and just be, I'm done.
and then you're done. Yeah, exactly.
And then it's just
So
you're done.
I'm going to piggyback since you're going with all these other players here.
Yeah, I don't want to
Uh,
name every
an-
player in the draft. Sorry.
yeah, you're just going worst pick. So another one of my worst picks is Quinn Hughes. And
Okay.
the reason is because he doesn't score a lot of goals and we added hits. He doesn't
He
hit.
doesn't hit.
So at number
See,
9, that's too high for a guy that doesn't hit and doesn't score a lot of goals. Now, yes, he scores a lot of points. He's good at fantasy. He puts up those numbers with the assists and the power play points and all that stuff. But you could have gotten a probably. I mean, and this is just my thinking, but it's like you were saying with the goalies. I take a legit stud number one goalie, Shesterkin, in that spot or something when he's available over Quinn Hughes. You could have got Hughes in round two. I don't know who did Nally draft in round two then because it was 9, so then it would have been a couple picks
Warinsky. They were
later.
both going D. Warinsky.
Wow, he picked two defensemen as
Yeah,
well.
which Warinsky's doing really
So
well, but two defensemen that high, maybe people weren't reading. Well, like defensemen to me, I agree
I
with you.
don't know.
They're not as valuable. And
And maybe
then when we
McCarr
did,
scared a lot of people. Maybe because
it might
McCarr
have,
went two, a
and
lot
then
of people
also
were
Quinn
going,
Hughes. They might have said the two best are off the board, and then
yeah,
boom, Darlene Bouchard, and then people panic.
yeah. I just think Quinn Hughes. I'm throwing him as one of my worst picks because of the no hits, especially. I don't really know that I have a problem with him if we don't have hits counting as anything in this year's league, but because he still never really scores a lot of goals. But
Yeah,
now that we've added hits. I just think that kind of levels it out a little bit more. Yes, he's still a great defenseman and he's still probably a top 10 defenseman, even fantasy wise or whatever you want to say. But the gap, I think, did get closed a little bit. So him
yes,
just being picked that high, usually the defenseman that I'm taking in round one, because you like I said, you have to nail your first pick. So it needs to be a goal scorer. It needs to be someone that's going to be at least a point per game player. You want a McDavid, obviously, or a McKinnon or Matthews, who's going to get 50 goals, or
hmm
a Draisaitl who's going to get 120 points. The only defenseman that I've ever really felt comfortable in the first round with, Cale Makar, Brent Burns, when he was in his prime, he's
yep,
going to get 250 shots and 70 points. Okay, I'll take that from a defenseman. Eric
yep,
Carlson, same deal when he was scoring 100 points. Roman Yossi, when he got 90 points, it was like, okay, this dude's flirting with 100. I'll take
yeah,
him. But, like, other than that, I don't know that I want a defenseman that is going to.
yeah,
I mean, you're counting on Quinn Hughes maybe scores 10 goals a year. So you're counting on
yeah.
him to get 70, 80 assists.
Right, which I
Ah,
mean,
that's a lot.
maybe because he's amazing,
That's
but
a
that's a
lot.
lot of assists. And I'm just gonna back you up real quick because I just searched him up to make sure. I sorted by the defensemen, which of course I just lost now. All defensemen that are by our fantasy points ranking.
Okay.
All players. Okay, number one to be expected, Kale McCarr.
Yeah.
2 goals, 5 assists. But here's the other thing: he doesn't hit a bunch, but he's got to hit every game. And he blocks and he has a lot of shot on goals, right? So like Kale McCarr to me makes sense. Number
Yeah.
2 overall is a little bit insane, but he is currently ranked 18 out of all of fantasy goalies, everybody. So like
Yeah.
that's a good pick, a little high, but okay. As we go down the list, the top 10 does not have Quinn Hughes. In fact, you and I'll just shout out, I have one, two, three guys in the top 10. We'll go to 15. Okay, you know whose names they are? My best player, number 3 of all defensemen in the NHL, Nikita Zadorov.
Hmm. Who
Down
I
here a
believe
little ways further,
who I
undrafted.
believe went
I picked him up.
undrafted.
I
Yes.
actually picked him up because I know that hits help, but like nobody really hits enough. He does.
Yeah.
It's enough that it's worth it. Uh, Guess who does a good balance of everything? Charlie McAvoy in the top 10.
Yeah.
Then, down the line a little further, I had your guy pulled out. I forgot him. Lane Hudson makes the cut. I think at the top 15. Mo Sider makes the cut.
Mm.
What happened to Quinn Hughes? Can't find Quinn Hughes on here somewhere. I swear I just saw him. Is he in the top 10? Is he in the top 20? Quinn Hughes is currently ranked 157th
Oof.
with
Yeah.
one hit.
Yeah.
One
He's not
hit.
going to hit a lot. Yeah.
Zadorov almost has 40. 40. I think it's
That's
35,
great.
but yeah. So to your
Yeah.
point, maybe people weren't quite thinking, or just because you're dynamic with the puck and you are an amazing skater doesn't mean you're gonna get fantasy points.
Yeah.
You need the fantasy points. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I
Yeah.
agree with your analysis. Did you have more of worst picks?
I have one more, but do you have any that you want to?
The I can't remember now. I got distracted, but there was one worst pick I had on here. Da, 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 da. If you've got yours ready, maybe it's better for you to go than me try
Okay.
to figure out what I was going to say.
I'll go. And I just real quick, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but just I'll have an honorable mention here. And it's I don't know that it's my worst pick, but looking back, I should have explained it a little bit more. We had talked about this before the pod, but Eli with John Gibson in round 10. So the way we would do our keepers is you get one keeper, and he's your last round pick. Eli had done a lot of trading draft picks last year. His last uh, draft pick was going to be in round 10. He was planning on keeping Barkov, but he got hurt. So then he picked John Gibson to be his keeper. That was the next best player on his team. And so he kept John Gibson, and I think that was his 10th round pick. It's not bad. I just think that his draft strategy would have changed. We don't have to have a keeper. If he would have known that, he probably doesn't keep him and then maybe drafts another goalie, early on, has a better goalie, and then picks a position player with his 10th round pick. And I don't even know who some of the 10th round pick players were, but if we're getting, players like Mark Stone in round 9, you got to think that
Yeah,
there's probably some decent position players left in round 10. So,
yeah,
that's a little bit on me because I didn't explain it that we didn't have to have a keeper, but also to be fair to myself, we've never been in a position where someone's keeper pick, their last pick
yeah.
has been round 10 either.
Right. No, there was some good.
So,
There was some good in 10. Zach Hyman, Kadri, moving into
yeah. Yeah,
11.
so if he knows that, maybe he
Freddie
drafts a little
Anderson's in
different.
round
But
11. Barzell's around 12. I mean, there were some good players out there.
yeah,
Even
and
Alex
and
Tuck is
usually yeah.
with hits. You
So,
know what I mean? Like he might even be better.
yeah. So I would imagine that if Eli would have known that, and I wasn't even thinking to tell him, I wasn't trying to keep him, from anything or tell him whatever. It was just
Keep him
I've
down.
never, we've never been in that situation before. You know what I mean? Our keeper's always been round 18 pick. Um,
Yes.
so
Which
anyway,
makes me think. No, that's good. I just got distracted again. My fog brain here. I had one of my worst picks pulled out, and then it made me
is
think
my
of round
screen
18.
frozen?
You are frozen to me right now.
Yeah, it's frozen on me too. I don't know what the deal is, but
Uh oh.
let me see. I'm gonna shut my Wi-Fi off here at 58:55 and
That's alright.
see. I always forget about that. Sometimes it works better if I'm not on my Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Right now it's
But
blank, but you're probably still there. This happened the other day, and the recording was fine. So
okay,
hopefully it'll be good. I'll kind of keep
I just don't
filling
know what
the
my
air.
video is gonna look like.
Right. So right now it's still black, but I'll kind of keep talking to fill
All
the
right,
air if you play with that. The I think this one is one of the worst picks only because it's too high in the draft. It's a good player, but in round number 2, pick number 10, Macklin Celebrini, and he's a center
yeah,
only. and we only have two center spots, but we do have a utility. So, like, yes, Miles took Sidney Crosby above him, but it's Crosby. He's proven, even though he's old, like, he's amazing. Celebrini is incredible. But to me, I see Dylan Larkin in the next round. I see Robert Thomas in the next round. Mark Scheifele in the next round. Nick Suzuki, JT Miller. I mean, Tim Stutzel. There's some really good. And then you get way down into round 6. You got Seth Jarvis, Nico
Yeah.
Heischer. Like, there was some good centers that Celebrini is a good center. But to me, he's a round 5 guy. He's a round 6
Yeah.
guy, not a round 2. So, you said round 18, though, is our keeper. And because of those trades, I think it was part of Eli's keeper being in round 10. I had traded. So in round 18, I actually had a pick. And so I took round 18, the final pick of the draft, like Matthew Schaefer. And he's
Okay.
crushing it. Obviously, I didn't think an 18-year-old would be this incredible, but like he's living up to the hype because even if he can't do it for all 80 games, he's just found money, right? I took him late in the draft. He's doing really well. He has a goal and an assist tonight against Nick, so he is absolutely crushing it.
Yes.
And that could have been one of my better picks. That was just because of the value found so late.
Yeah.
He's currently ranked 165, so he's not blowing the doors off of anything. He's only got 2 hits, but he literally like went to his prom 6 months ago,
Yeah.
and then has
Wow.
got a goal and 4 assists for the Islanders,
That's
who
crazy.
are terrible. So the fact that he's
Yeah.
doing that good on that team is like only sky's the limit with him. All right, welcome back, everybody. We had a little pause there for a word from our sponsors, and now we're back at it with the last of our best and worst of the draft. Then on to studs and scrubs. Nick, who you got going for your worst of the drafts?
All right. So this is my worst pick of the draft. Um, and again, just because, like I've been saying, you got to nail it with your first round pick. And I love Jace. He's won this league a couple times, and so he's usually pretty good at fantasy. But taking Brady Kachuk at number 7 when Matthews was still on the board just seemed insane to me. Now, why I think he did it? A couple reasons. He knew that hits were going to count this year. Brady Kachuk is a bruiser. He doesn't put up points, but he's going to put up hits. So maybe that makes him a little more valuable. Because again, none of us have really played with hits before, so we don't know how this is going to impact our league and how it's going to throw things off. The other reason I think he took Brady Kachuk over Matthews was that he has had Matthews before in the past. And I get when you're playing fantasy, sometimes you just like to have another player that you've not had before.
Yeah,
So I understand that aspect of it. But when it's Austin Matthews, and granted, I do believe he was hurt for a decent amount of time last year, so maybe you're worried about that. But Brady Kachuk just had thumb surgery and is out like 6 to 8 weeks. So
yes,
it didn't pan out too well for him. Now, and this is me calling it his worst pick, looking at it right now, Brady being injured. In a month, maybe Matthews just goes on a tear, or maybe he gets hurt, or when Brady comes back, he goes on a tear, and then it doesn't look
yeah,
so bad. But just, I was genuinely, I won't say shocked, but I was very surprised that Jace did not pick Matthews and took Brady Kachuk instead. So that's going to be rough for Jace to overcome, losing your first round pick until at least December, probably,
yes,
if not longer. Uh, so now you're trying to win games without essentially a number 1 pick is going to be tough. It's going to be hard. So I like to pick guys and not to say that Brady Kachuk is not a good fantasy player, and especially with hits, but I still don't know that puts him as a first round pick. even if he was staying healthy
Yes.
right now. I don't,
Even if he was healthy.
okay, even if he was healthy, they always tend to, put him up there a little bit more, but I don't know. I've never just because he seems like he's more of a complementary player on a team than the guy that you need to rely on. And in a sense, I hate to say this, but I kind of feel like that's how Larkin is sometimes.
Yeah.
He's going to be a great second line center for you. But if you're relying on him to be your top line and you're going up against teams that have McDavid as their number one center, it's like, yeah, okay, well, there is a gap there. As good as
Yeah.
Larkin is, but so that's just kind of how I view Brady Kachuk. Austin Matthews, legit 70 goal scorer in the league. He's going to get you those fantasy points. And I was just surprised. So I'm calling that the worst pick of the draft. Sorry, Jace. It might end up working out in the long run, but man, right now, I think he'll end up kicking himself for not taking Matthews in that spot. Because the other
Yeah.
thing too is usually your first round pick is then your keeper for next year.
Usually.
So
So
if you had a chance to draft Matthews and essentially have him on your team for 2 years, so
I
you
mean that
gamble.
is a real
And that's the other thing as to why some of those worst picks with the defensemen, a Quinn Hughes, a Darlene, and a Bouchard. I don't know that those are. I know that Quinn Hughes has been kept before, but like those are going to be your keepers. So you're banking on?
that's a good
Ugh.
point because man,
Man,
I already agree with you that Brady's too high. Then you say Brady Kachuk over Matthews. You know what? That's craziness, right?
yeah,
But when you break down further, that it's like to play devil's advocate, for whatever, if people are listening, is the keepers this year were really good, but like there's kind of a class A and a class B a little bit. I think
yeah,
as time's gone on, it's been more even. But like the first year we ever did keepers, like everyone kept their best people, so that was the McDavid Matthews. So they
yeah,
kind of stay together. So then, like
right,
the keepers this year, no one was allowed to take were Pasta, Jack Hughes, Jack Eichel, Kucherov, Jason Robertson, Nylander, Rannon, Reinhart, Vasilevsky, Jake Gensel, and Mitch Marner. So they're not guaranteed like the top 10 players in the NHL or anything, but the top 20-ish are kind of locked up, and it changes every year, like we talked about with Eli John Gibson. Depending on how your
yeah,
year goes, they got to be on your roster. So to get down to the top 10 are those are not available. McDavid, Makar, Draisaitl, McKinnon, Kaprizov, Hellebuck, Austin Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Braden Point. Like, maybe you disagree with the order, but those all make sense. And then Brady Kachuk.
yeah,
I don't know. One of these things is not like the other. I mean, to your point, he's not even the best center on his own team.
yeah,
I mean, right? Tim Stutzel's the best center on Ottawa. Is he not? Uh,
yeah,
maybe I'm wrong, but like, and I understand on the ice in real life is different. That's a tough one. I gotta agree with you there. With the the real nail in the coffin is Matthews is on your team for 2 years, and you said I'm
yeah,
good,
yeah. You passed on Matthews being on your team for 2 years.
right? Which at any given moment of every given year, he is the favorite to win the Rocket.
Yeah,
Like every
yeah,
year it starts, and it's like flip a coin. I don't know. I guess maybe Draisaitl and McKinnon, right? Those three are the favorites. The start of
yeah.
every year, and Matthews is probably noticeably the favorite.
Right,
It's
100%.
that's tough.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's rough.
I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to agree with you. That might be number one.
Okay. Yeah.
Although, man, looking at like Darlene being your keeper for 2 years is rough too. So it's not gonna be. I think it's gonna be
Uh,
Seth Jarvis maybe for him. Because
yeah, it
Kokoniecki
just
was his next pick. We've had some weird ones this year. Not
yeah.
his.
And
Others might have.
I'll admit I don't always think about that when I'm in the draft as far as like who am I going, essentially drafting my keeper for next year, I don't always think
Yeah,
about that, but I
it's
do
fair.
try to think about
Leeches.
my first pick of the first round. I have to nail it. I have to find some. I mean, because everyone is right. I mean, someone's getting McDavid, someone's getting McKinnon, someone's getting Drysaitel. Okay, I can't miss in the first
Your,
round.
I think your headphones are cutting out.
Oh, can you hear me?
Sometimes it's doing that thing where it cut out.
All right. Sorry about that.
I would hate for
I
it if we did
I
your
don't even have
history lesson.
headphones in. Can you hear me all right?
Oh,
Is it just me
yeah, I
talking?
can hear you. Yeah,
You can hear me?
maybe it was my phone.
Okay. Maybe. I haven't had headphones in this whole time.
Oh no.
So I don't know if it was my phone or your phone or what, but can you still hear me all right?
Well, hopefully it's okay. You're going in and out, but the recording might be fine. Sometimes it's just
Okay.
like the over the air stream, but the
Gotcha.
actual recording's
Okay.
okay. We'll hope.
Yeah. So, anyway, I feel like your first round pick has to be a hit. You want their you want the first round pick to have a high floor, to be a point per game player, to be someone that's going to get you. Um, oh, now it says reconnecting. Although the time's still going. Can you hear me?
I think I went dark there for a minute. Are we good?
Okay, you're back. Can you hear me?
I can, but sometimes your mouth moves and it's dead silent, and then you come in. So
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on then. I did just have a little reconnecting thing on my screen. Did we have issues with that before? Did it come
we
out all right in
did, but
recording
then
or
I listened to the episode with all four of us, and there was no glitches. So
okay? I mean, it's
hopefully it's
still
just
giving me
like
the
what we're looking
countdown
at
and
live
I can
is
still see
glitching,
you and yeah.
and then
Okay.
the actual recording locally
Yeah.
on your phone is fine. So it'll link up.
Okay. All right. Well,
Although now I'm the only face I see on my screen. I'm just sitting here talking to myself, enjoying some hockey, some fantasy, waiting for my boys to come back. That's okay. I could talk hockey fantasy by myself right now. Brady Tkachuk gets surgery on his thumb. He's out, but he was ranked 287th before that. So it's not like he was lighting the world up on fire before. So he's 99% rostered. Obviously, he should be rostered. He should be on your team. But round number one, when you got Matthews sitting right there looking at you in the face, I think you're going to regret. Because honestly, Miles took Hellebuck before Matthews. Probably not smart. But Hellebuck's going to play every game. And most goalies are not going to. So that is debatably worth it because you're like, well, I got the best goalie for fantasy. I was just filling the air talking to myself, waiting for you to come back, so it was good. I was thinking how
man.
Miles also did not take Matthews, but at least he took Hellebuck, where it's like you probably want
Yeah.
Matthews more than Hellebuck, but you took the number one goalie, so it's like, is he the only guy in the
Yeah.
league left who's going to play 65 games? So maybe it is worth it. He's going to get 30,
Yeah.
40 wins, but still, Matthews sitting there.
Yeah. That is
I
rough.
mean, I would have
But
taken Matthews when it was our turn. If it got to you or
I
me,
would have
we'd take
taken that.
Matthews, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So all right,
But
should we do our suds and scrubs while we're recording
let's do
and
it.
everything's working?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Do you want to do first or last? So you've got to segue into your history, right?
I do. Yeah. It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
I'll give a stud. We can bounce back and
Okay.
forth. Stud,
Yep.
just because I feel like he's always on my chopping block where I am negative. Last year, this is not my stud, but last year I was always harping on Jake DeBrusk. but it's just
Oh, yeah.
because like he's always kind of like in real life valued as like a good core piece that'll make it all come together. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't see it. Maybe I'm crazy. This guy, same thing. In real life, I don't quite get it. He's always kind of touted as like, that's your guy, number 2C on a Stanley Cup winning team. He's the third center. Like, this guy is so good. He's so underrated. He's the best. And I just don't see it. But right now, he's doing great. So I'm throwing it out there. He's a center and a winger, a great stud that is probably available in your league. He's only rostered in 25% of leagues. He's ranked 144, 1 goal, 5 assists, and 10 hits. So go get Pavel Zacha if you've got the chance.
Mm,
He's a solid
okay.
pickup for fantasy. You'll probably pick him up and then drop him again, but he's hot right
Yeah.
now. Ride the hot hand. I hate to open it with negativity, but I don't understand when people, Boston fans, talk about like in the glory days, you got Bergeron, you got Pasternak, you got Zaka, and I'm like, Zaka? What do you? I
Yeah.
think he was already a failed experiment. Not that a failed experiment, but everyone thought he was going to be the guy, and he's just not the guy.
Yeah.
But he's playing good right now. He's a solid stud to go out and help your fantasy for this week. Only 25% rostered. I think that's value.
Nice. I like it. Okay, so talking about riding the hot hand, I'm gonna go with my stud, and he is a goalie, Alex the Lion. Don't know if you've caught some of his stats. Now he does play for Buffalo, so they're terrible. But his record is 2-4. He's got a 2.54 goals against average and essentially a 93% save percentage. He's played every game so far for him. If you read the little blurb on Yahoo, they said that he could even contend for the number one starting spot in Buffalo, even when what's the other guy, Luka Ukanokanen, whatever.
Yep.
Even
Yeah,
when
I
he
think.
comes back and gets healthy. Um, so he's gonna get plenty of opportunity. Now he is my stud in a sense of go out and just pick him up, and he's a good goalie to plug and play right now.
Yeah.
So if you look at some of the stats, I do believe that Buffalo is allowing essentially at least 30 shots against a game. So he's going to have plenty of opportunity for saves. Even if they're not winning games, he's not letting in a ton of goals. He's not getting pulled. He's not getting, um, just out there crazy. So in our league right now, he is ranked number 9, and he's
Yeah.
only rostered in 28% of the leagues. So if he's available, now if you're playing a category league, he's obviously maybe not a great pickup because he doesn't get you wins. His goals against average isn't great. But if you're playing points, like you should be, and like our league does, he's going to be a value guy that you can pick him up and get a couple of quality starts out of him probably. And he should be available in your league because he's not rostered in hardly any of them. So
Yeah.
that's my
It's actually
stud, Alex the
surprising.
Lion.
The Lion is such a good one, and I'm surprised he's not rostered in more. Maybe just because there's not as many goalie spots, but like it's been kind of hot news right now. Like because with the Panthers when they were struggling and he went on a hot streak, and then
Yeah,
the wheels came off a little bit and Bobrovsky took over again. But then he comes to Detroit, he did the same thing. Like
yeah,
Detroit missed the playoffs on a technicality to the Capitals. That was when he saved them. And then he's doing it in Buffalo. Like this is his thing. He comes into teams that are falling apart and he saves them. Yes, Buffalo's still doing bad, but like they would be with the Sharks without Lyon.
yeah,
Like he is playing awesome, and everyone knows it. So to see that he's not rostered in what 28% of leagues, that's pretty crazy actually.
yeah.
And he's ranked
So
number 9, which in our league we just changed the rules to make goalies a little bit less valuable.
a little bit harder. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
or just right harder. Yeah, exactly. Because I have Shesterkin, and he's playing amazing even though the Rangers aren't winning because you're getting those saves. But I'm a victim of my own medicine. Askarov played. They lost. San Jose lost again, 4-3 to the Islanders. Well, he let in 4 goals on 25 shots. So it's like
Okay.
I'm sure it's not his fault. San Jose's not good on defense. If you watch the game
Yeah.
live, it could have been a breakaway. It could have been a 2-1-0. But if you let in 2 goals, your team won. So yes, it's harsh to say you're the reason the Sharks lost. The Sharks are terrible. But you're playing the Islanders, they're terrible. That is the standard in the NHL. Because
Yeah.
Shesterkin, they won a game 1-0 because they had a 38 save shutout. And it's like, well, there's a gag, baby. That's
Yeah.
that is how good you have to be. And so I like our change actually, even though it is a little bit of it's a bit harsh. It's like Lyon is out there carrying the team, so he should be
Yeah.
rewarded for it. He plays for Buffalo, so if he lets in 6 goals, it might backfire. But
Right.
that's a good pick. That's a good stud.
Yeah.
I like that. I will throw out a scrub real quick because I unfortunately took a risk on him and I threw Miles some shade. I told Miles, Pierre-Luc Dubois, you drafted him too high. That was a bad pick. But then I did the same thing because he had a good year last year and I predicted he'd have a good year last year and he did. And then he got hurt and I said he's going to come back out of the gate on fire and I already dropped him. Patrick Laine.
Mm.
And I should have known
Yeah.
better. Everyone knows better. PLD, Patrick Laine, Evander Kane, even maybe debatably Kadri. Like they're
Mm.
streaky players,
Yeah.
and you don't want streaky in fantasy. You want steady Eddie, unless you can hit the
Yeah.
streaks. Then you're probably going to win fantasy. That's why we have a
Yeah.
podcast. If you can hit the streaks, you're going to win. If you can pick up Laine when he scores 7 goals in 3 games, then drop him. Then drop him because
Yeah.
right now might be actually if you haven't dropped him yet, it might be a good time to get him. He went day to day. Maybe he was fighting an injury, and we all know he's not exactly the toughest person in the universe. So maybe he just was like trying to hide an injury. I don't know. But maybe it's from last year still. If he comes back around and he's been cold for 20 games, then maybe get him because you know he's about to
Mm.
pop off. But for
Yeah.
right now, if you haven't already, you probably have. Drop him. Unless for some reason you can bury him on your IR. He's only 17% rostered, so people are quick to give up on him, but like, it's deserved because he does this. So I drafted him too high. I don't remember when, but I already drafted him, and nobody's even gotten him. And to be fair, he's
Mm.
hurt. But, it's like, if you've got Line A, move on. There's other better players out there. Pick
Yeah.
up just somebody who gets a lot of hits, even, and you're probably going to be better off. So that's my
Yeah.
scrub for this week.
I like it.
Round 14, I
Uh.
got him, so it's not that bad of a gamble, but
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So my scrub, can you look up and see where Sorokin was drafted in our league? Goalie
oh,
for the Islanders.
yeah,
I don't even know who has
very
him.
good pick. Lucic and Sean. So Chase says this
Okay.
is better than his round one pick. No, Sorokin in round six though. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Round six.
Yeah. Not bad. And in the past, he's been a dependable, reliable, pretty awesome goalie. But
Yes.
I think the Islanders are terrible. And I even have a little note on here that big game tonight against the Sharks, and we'll see how he does. You said the Islanders won 4-3?
Yes. Which I
Okay.
don't know if he really bailed him out necessarily, but I don't have
Yeah.
the shots pulled up in front of me or anything. But he got the win
So,
tonight. He did great in fantasy. He I'm looking at his total. His total fantasy is not good, but
yes.
today
Yeah.
is
So
okay.
I'm listing him as a scrub right now. He's 93% rostered. and he's ranked 425. At least he was earlier before tonight's games. He's 1-3 on the year. Like I said, I think the Islanders are they're just bad, dude. Um,
Yeah.
Now, I will put a caveat on this that it kind of depends on who your other goalies are on your team too, right? I mean, if you drafted Sorokin in the 6th round and he's your best goalie on your team, ugh, boy, I don't know. You might be in a tough spot. But if he's
Yeah.
your third or fourth goalie on your team that you don't really have to rely on him, you're just kind of, plugging and playing him. How about this? How about you drop him and pick up Alex the Lion, who's killing it right now?
I like
trade
it.
your trade your scrub for the stud, especially if he's, like I said, your third or fourth goalie and you don't really rely on him. You're just plugging and playing him. But if you drafted him in the 6th round, it's a good possibility that might have been your first goalie off the board. So I don't know what your roster would look like otherwise, but and I also have him as a scrub just because he's rostered in 93% of the leagues, like I said earlier. So that's a lot of leagues. He's on a lot of teams. And, for him to be playing as bad as he is, there's got to be other options out there. So I don't know. I've
Yeah.
had him in the past before. He's been fine. The Islanders can turn it around and they're kind of a defensive team, but also that sometimes that hurts you if the Islanders don't if they're not giving up 30 shots a game like Buffalo and they're only giving up 18, 19 shots a game and he's letting in
Yep.
2 or 3 goals in our league, especially since we made a goal minus a point and a half instead of just minus one, that's going to hurt him a little bit more. And I'd rather have the guy who's seeing 30 shots a game. I can live with him giving up 2 or 3 goals on 30 shots a game than 2 or 3 goals on 19.
Yes. In fact, to just reiterate this, I didn't realize how bad it was. Today he played well. Three
Mm,
goals against, 36 shots. So
okay.
he played well,
Yes.
but nothing like incredible,
So,
right? That's
and
above
that's
900. He gets the win. But
yeah,
every
and
other
that buys them
game,
a little bit
he
more time. I was gonna say,
he's letting in
depending on how
four
tonight's,
goals.
yeah, if
Every
tonight's
single
game
he's
went
letting in
the other
four
way,
goals. Yeah.
yeah.
But
So,
just to your point, he has let in four goals every single game this year.
oh man, yeah, that's
And
rough.
then he
That's
gets
rough.
sat on the bench, and the Islanders got their first win of the year without him. So
Yeah,
that might have been a wake up call because they went against Ottawa, but he didn't play super well. Well, I didn't watch the game, but he lets in four goals on 33 shots, so you're okay, but you're not good, but you got the
yeah,
W. And then today he played good. So, like,
yeah,
you're saying, maybe drop him, maybe he's really good trade bait right now. You say, yeah, he
yeah,
started weak, but, he's still an all star goalie. Go for
yeah,
somebody like a Saros or something like that who's going to get more shots against, probably.
yeah,
Because that's the thing with the Islanders. It's a good point. They don't have many shots against, but they play kind of a run and gun style, considering it's boring. Like maybe it's line one
yeah,
heavy. I don't know what it is, but like they're a fast team that has that boring game that's low
yeah.
shots and low scoring, and it's like then if you're gonna give up a 2-on-0, then it's like you can't really
Right.
blame the goalie if you're getting scored on, but it's also like if you're talking fantasy, I don't really
Yeah,
care. I need you to stop him, you know. So that's a good one.
yeah.
He is
So,
not doing well this year so far. That is really surprising.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. It is. But so, all right. Do we want to go into NHL for a quick minute, or do we want to save it, or what do we want to do here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with going into it. We're somewhere
Okay.
around an hour 20 with our technical
Yeah.
difficulties, but
Yeah, so I'll just hit this real quick. It won't be too in depth. Um, and yeah, we'll just go for it. So I kind of have had a little theme, studs and scrubs tonight. We're both goalies. My NHL is going to be a goalie. Um, about what, a month and a half ago now or so. The great Ken Dryden passed away on September 5th, and so I think sometimes he gets overlooked, um, and just kind of forgotten about a little bit. I know I was guilty of that early on in my hockey fandom, and just knowing where he stacked up against some of the great players of all time. So I'd like to talk about Ken Dryden for a few minutes. Um,
Absolutely. I love that.
so
He was
I figured you would.
my
Goalie.
dad's favorite player growing up. Just side note.
Okay.
My dad was a
Yeah.
goalie in the 70s and 80s, and Ken Dryden was like the idol. You know what I mean? Like that was his favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, so just some basic things here. He played for the Canadians from 1971 to 1979. We're talking the like prime dynasty years for the Canadians. He's
Yep.
got six Stanley Cups, five Vezina trophies. Now I will throw a little caveat in here with the Vezina trophy. I know on a previous episode we talked about it. I didn't realize this, but the Vezina trophy used to just go to the goalie whose team had the fewest goals, or maybe the goalie that gave up the fewest amount of goals. Whereas
Yeah.
now that is like the Jennings trophy, and Vesna's got kind of a different criteria. But still, he's got five Vesnas to his
Yeah.
name. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. Doesn't matter what the
Nice.
criteria was at the time, he was winning it. So,
Right. Right.
just
He was still the best, even though it
yes,
was
still
different
the
than it is
best.
today. He's still
Yeah. Right. So it might be one of
yeah.
those things where he was, kind of the beneficiary of a good team that didn't allow a lot of shots. So
Mhm.
therefore, they didn't allow a lot of goals, but that's all part of the
And a
team.
quick
Uh, yeah.
For sure, for sure. And a quick point on that though is currently today they vote for the Vesna, right? Ken Dryden would win them all
Yeah.
by today's standards. If they were
Yeah.
voting back then, they would have voted for him. Maybe
It wouldn't have mattered. Right.
Bernie Perrant, who also passed away. Maybe
Yeah.
Bernie Perrant would get one or two, but Ken Dryden's getting all the other ones.
Yes. By any
You
measure,
know,
any standard, he would
yeah,
still have been winning the Vezina Trophy.
he would
So
still be winning.
yeah. So six Stanley Cups, five Vezina trophies. He's got a Conn Smythe, a Calder Memorial Trophy for Rookie of the Year. He was voted on as one of the top 100 greatest players of all time, obviously.
Hmm.
So just a little quick background. He was called up late in the season of 1971. He played in six regular season games that year. His goals against average was 1.65. Took the starting job in the playoffs, took him to the Stanley Cup, and then he won playoff MVP that year. So he's got the Conn Smythe and the Stanley Cup in coming up late in the season. So the next year he wins Rookie of the Year because the year before he wasn't eligible because he didn't play enough games. So
That's
that
crazy.
that alone is just an insane stat when you really break it down, when you really think about it, and throw that throughout the other sports as well, right? Baseball, football, basketball. No player comes in late in the season and then wins playoff MVP and wins their team a championship and then the next year wins Rookie of the Year. It's unheard of.
Absolutely crazy.
So he's the only player, and here's another little crazy stat for you. He's the only player to win the Conn Smythe before Rookie of the Year, but also he won a playoff MVP and a Stanley Cup before he ever lost a regular season game.
It's
So
such
he's
a
the
crazy
only goalie to
stat.
ever do that. So timing on that also has to play a role in that, right? A guy gets hurt, he
Sure.
comes in, fills in for him as a starting goalie with a few games left, 6 games, but still 6 games. He won his sixth regular season and then just
He
went on
still
a tear
won
in the playoffs,
six.
and then comes back and just has playoff MVP and Stanley Cup already, which is just crazy. So he's played in just over 7 seasons. just over 7 seasons, and he's got 6 Stanley Cups.
That's,
And
I mean,
5 Vezinas.
basically one every year.
He's winning
Basically,
every year.
I mean,
He's winning
almost,
every year.
almost.
So played in just over 7 seasons. So with him only playing in a few seasons and not having an 18, 19, 20 year career, he doesn't have those career statistic numbers as far as, the number of wins, um, and the number of shutouts and all those things. So those are a little lower, right? He's only got 258 wins to his name, but 258 in 7 seasons, so
Yeah,
you kind of have to look at it through that lens as well. There's goalies out there now, um, Brodeur and Wah and even Marc-Andre Fleury now. Those guys are up
yeah.
there with their win totals, doubling what Ken Dryden has. But their career's been 2, 3 times as long. Andre
Wait,
Fleury is 20 years. That's
literally,
almost three.
literally
That's
three
almost
times.
3 times the career that he had. And how many? I mean, I know the game
And
is different now, but
shorter.
he's got what, 3 cups, Andre Fleury.
Yeah,
So 3 and 20.
triple.
Dryden has 6 and 7. Dryden
And
is the
actually, that's a
real
good point.
6-7, 6-7, 6-7, whatever
Six,
that whole thing is going around now. It's
six,
Ken Dryden.
7. We are officially old, so it must be dead. That's uh,
Uh,
no,
so
that's a
yeah,
good point though, because also the seasons were shorter, so he's playing 70 games.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
literally is triple. Like 20
yeah,
years now is more games to get those wins. So
yeah,
like the total wins, yes, he's not gonna be able to do it, but like
right,
Flurry literally played triple
yeah.
the amount of
So
games.
I mean, he had a 74% winning percentage, Ken Dryden. So I mean, winning 3 out of every
That's got
four
to be the
games played.
highest. That's got to be the highest of all
It's
time.
got to
That's
be up
insane.
there. It's got to be up there. Um, a 2.24 goals against average. He was a career 92 save percentage, 46 shutouts in 397 games. So almost a shutout every 8 games. I mean, just he's was in the Hall of Fame. His number 29 is retired by the Canadians. It's also retired by his college, Cornell. They've only retired 2 numbers, Ken Dryden and Joe Newendike. Uh, but just Ken Dryden, I think
What a
he
slouch.
gets kind of lost in the shuffle because his career was so short, because it was long ago. Um, you're talking, he played 50 years ago, so a lot of
Yeah.
new fans, new people. I wasn't even alive, I mean, so
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to compare eras. We're all guilty of this, recency biased. But when I look at his numbers and what he did in his career, it's just insane. There was even a season there in the middle. I don't remember exactly what year, where like he had a contract, some issues, negotiation stuff, where he was just obviously feeling like he wasn't getting paid what he was worth or deserved, which he probably
Yeah.
wasn't. And he just left and like went to law school and started, I mean, he was a smart dude. And then like when they figured it out, he like came back and just continued winning and just picked up where he left off. And I think legit at like part of why he retired was like it was just boring. He was just so dominant, so good. He's like, this isn't a challenge to me anymore. And so he only played those few seasons, and then he left, and he had a full career in politics and teaching and different
Yeah.
things. So I mean, he did a lot of other things. He also apparently holds, and I didn't dig too into the weeds in this, but he has like 9 honorary doctorates from colleges all over Canada. So, and
That's wild.
I don't think s- all of those were just because of his being a hockey player either. The guy was smart. He went to law school. He went to Cornell. He was an Ivy
Hmm.
League guy.
Yeah.
So
Cornell.
there was so much more to him than just his hockey career. The other
Uh, uh,
interesting thing with
Imagine
him,
being so smart that you have a disagreement at work and you are the best in the whole world at your job and they want to underpay you
yes,
and you go to Cornell Law School, not just
yeah,
like down the street, and you're like,
yeah,
I don't need you at all, bro. And I mean,
yeah, I could go
1977
do something else and be
Canadians, right?
fine.
That's
Yeah,
I mean, are the 77 Canadians considered like the best team of all time? And you're just
yeah,
like, I'm good, I'm out.
yeah.
And it's insane. It's insane. Okay.
It is crazy. And the last little tidbit, and to be honest, I don't know if we've talked about Ken Dryden on this podcast before, maybe a little bit, but I felt like it was a good
Yeah.
time to. I didn't want him to get lost in the shovel and forgotten. He
Yeah.
passed away before the season started. He was 78.
Right. Yeah.
Just one of the all-time underrated players, even when you look at his stats and stuff. People just don't realize how dominant he was. I know I didn't. But the last thing that is very interesting to just the full life and career that he had is um, he was the color commentator next to the play-by-play guy of Al Michaels for the Miracle on Ice game.
That is craziness. Like,
So yes, yeah,
those are those legendary people where it's like,
yeah,
oh, also, I don't know
yeah,
the
right,
story. I don't know if it was just like completely random that it was like he just did he do the whole entire Olympics or did he just do that one game? And like
yeah.
nobody
I don't.
expected that miracle to happen, right? It was like
Yeah,
I heard people said like it wasn't even televised because they thought like Russia for sure was going to win, and it was like they had to try to find it and all this weird stuff. But it's
yeah.
like
I don't think it was televised
that's
live for sure.
oh yeah, because it was in
I think they
no
like taped it
yeah,
and
but I don't
then
think it was taped it and then showed
like
it
they played it
whenever it was
later. Like
happening. There was
it wasn't
yes.
live. Yeah,
Yes, it was something like that. And it's
yeah,
like those are those legendary people though, where it's like the stars kind of just align. Where it's like, yeah, of course you were, of course you were
yeah,
at the Miracle game on the broadcast. Like
yeah,
that's so what
yeah.
that is
So
absolutely crazy. And I mean, he's Canadian, obviously, so it's like
yeah,
it's
yes,
not like they just loaded it with a bunch of American guys. It's like
right, yeah.
just
And that would have
craziness.
been the year right after. So his career went through 79, and in 80 he's color commentating.
Right?
I mean, I know today there's a lot of players that do that, um, and it's probably a little more commonplace now just because of all social media and everything's televised. It's all on TV. But we're talking in the 70s into
Yeah.
1980, where a guy was that smart, knew the game that well, was someone that could make that transition. It wasn't like he was out of hockey for a few years or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he immediately went into that. So you know,
And you got to think,
it's
I mean, I could be wrong, but in that era, I feel like it's probably not common. And also, until
yeah,
kind of recently, like the best of the best aren't doing it. Like right now, you've got Gretzky and you've got Lundqvist and you've got some of these, but like it's usually not like Lemieux and
right.
Iserman and like the best of the
Yeah,
best who have ever played in the 70s. Who would it be? Like you got Bobby Clark, you got the
yeah.
Islanders were kind of getting in there, right? So sure,
And even
they're
the guys that
incredible
are doing it
players.
now aren't doing it a year after, Gretzky didn't get into it a year after he left the league.
Yeah, he got
It's
into it 30 years after he left the league, right? It's like
yeah, so
that
it's
is, I
it's
mean,
kind of
he
wild to think that he immediately went to uh,
yeah,
you
it
know,
kind of just shows,
doing
right,
that.
how
But
he was so probably well spoken and so smart, where it
yes.
was just like, oh, how does this work? How did you do broadcast? Like, I'm
Yeah.
good, man.
Yeah.
I'm not confused. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm gonna,
Right.
and then into politics, like you said, like it was like he could just handle whatever.
Yep. Yeah. So Um, and he's got a few of. I apologize. I don't know what some of the Canadian awards are, different things, but he's got like the Order of Canada award, different things from essentially the Canadian government for being such a
Yeah.
great hockey player and his politics career and all that stuff. So I mean, he's accomplished a lot in the NHL, but also just overall in his life. And so I just wanted to take a quick minute and kind of remember him. And another time, I'll put together and maybe we can all do some research and have our own, say, like Mount Rushmore of goalies of all time or something like that, or
Yes.
Canadians, Montreal Canadiens or whatever. But I mean, I would have to say that Ken Dryden would be on my goalie Mount Rushmore. I don't have one put together right now, but I mean, it's gonna be hard to knock him off.
Yes.
But that'll be it for another episode. We can kind of do our top goalies of all time. But
Yeah.
Ken Dryden
We'll
definitely
get
has to be
into
in the
it.
conversation. So
Oh, for sure. I mean, if he's not in the conversation, then you probably just don't know enough about him
yeah, I
because
mean
it's
his
obvious.
yeah
To me, I think he's basically locked for your top five, and then if your Mount
yeah
Rushmore's four, then I would probably have him on there. Um, I know there's a lot of debate around certain players, like Brodeur comes to mind, but like
yeah
weirdly enough, you brought up the Miracle Game. There's another goalie we'll talk about sometime. Tretiak is another one where it's like people
mm-hmm.
don't quite realize
Mm-hmm.
how good he was, and his team was so good that it's a little hard to where does he
yeah
fit in the? Is he in a top 20? Is he in a top five? But that's
yeah
another guy that I feel like Dryden and Tretiak were like they were probably the two best goalies until you get like Juan Hasek probably. You know what I mean? Like that they were
yeah
the best probably.
right
So
yeah
Dryden I think is pretty much a lock for Mount Rushmore if you dig into it and you research him more, like you were saying.
yeah
A
yeah
92 save percentage his whole career, six
I mean
Stanley Cup. I
six
mean, like
Stanley
when you dig
Cups,
into it, it's like he's so. And I know
five
that the team
Vesnas.
was really good,
And just
but the I think I didn't mean to talk over you. Sorry. I think the
no, you're
year
good.
that he had the contract dispute, they basically argued our team is so good anyone could be the goalie, and he said good
Hmm.
luck, and he left, and they lost. I think they got
Oh,
knocked out
maybe I didn't. Yeah.
that year. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, and that's why it's like that might even be the 6-7 where he didn't win. He might have like played that
Yeah.
year but walked away. I can't. No, I don't know the details. I shouldn't say it,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
think they lost, and then he came back and they won. Like it was
Okay.
like yes, I'm the
Yeah.
reason you win. I don't, and they were obviously incredible, but it was the X factor that it was like no, no, no. The Maple Leafs are very
Right.
good. Whoever else was good in the 70s. I guess the Islanders were kind of later, weren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah, maybe the Islanders. But yeah, it was like obviously the Flyers won back to back in the 70s somewhere. So it's like,
Yes. Yeah.
they were very good, but they still needed Dryden between the pipes to get the job done.
Yes. Yeah. So,
So, yeah.
but all right,
Good
that's all I
tribute
got.
though to an incredible career, and I would actually
Yes,
be very interested. He's got a few books, I believe, actually, that
I think
I'm
so.
sure are
Yes.
good. I've heard people say that like he could write books on his political stuff, on his
Yeah.
like just social stuff that he did for Canada and around communities, and then of course his career, like
Yes.
easily three books on the guy's life, you know.
Yeah.
So fitting tribute. It's good because he passed, and it was kind of odd for a little bit there. There was legendary goalies, Ken Dryden and Bernie Parent and
Hmm.
Eddie Giacomin, all passed away really close together. And now Eddie Giacomin was quite a bit older, but he's number one for New York. That's retired for the
Hmm.
Rangers.
Okay.
And anytime number one's retired, you're a legend. So just
Yeah.
you just got me thinking. All three of those guys were absolute Hall of Fame legends. They're like the Terry Sawchuk, right? Of their.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Canadians have so many. They do have Jacques Plante, they do have Vesna, but Ken Dryden is absolute
Yeah.
legend. And he's
For sure.
just cool. His story is so cool. The way he'd sit up on his stick like that
Hmm.
is got to be one of
Yeah.
the most iconic hockey things there is.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
your team's so good that like I'm just bored back here. But if you
Exactly.
get through them, if you somehow get through them, You got no chance
Yeah.
of getting through me. And he was a big guy. Goalies often were small, right? Back in the day,
Yeah.
it was all
He was
about
six
like I don't
four.
need this huge
Yeah.
for his time.
Yeah.
You know, because he played that stand-up style. If you were too tall, it didn't make sense. But he
Hmm.
just, I mean, he just had it down more than anyone ever, and for a long,
Yeah.
long time. Good stuff, man.
So,
Good stuff. I love that.
all right.
I think we should probably just
That's
wrap
all
it
I
up
got.
there, right, and call it.
I
We
think
got two
so.
good segments. We'll link them
Yep.
together and have a longer episode, or I don't know, maybe we'll save this one as a little bonus. I don't know. Play it by
Yeah.
ear.
Yeah.
Probably
Sounds good.
probably link them together as one.
I
We'll
think link
figure it
them
out.
together. They all kind of
Probably
flow
should
to
talk
fit
about that
together pretty
after
good.
we
So,
hang up. I instead of on the
uh,
pod. All
that's all
right, man.
right.
Good stuff. I appreciate
Yeah.
you doing some research. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
absolutely.
Love hearing about Ken Dryden. I had heard
Yeah.
some of that stuff, but not all of it. So, I love hearing those hockey
Yeah.
legends. That's what we live for, right?
That's
So,
right. That's right.
okay, buddy.
So,
Everyone, thank
all
you
right, man.
for listening. Do all the sharing and liking and subscribing,
Yes,
please. It
sir.
helps us out. And tune in for, your studs and scrubs recommendations of who to add and drop. We'll see you next time. Keep your stick on the ice.
All right. Make the first move, Conway.